If you're a parent who feels like you're constantly surprising your autistic child with even simple daily routines, or you're a clinician watching families struggle with basic connections, there's a missing piece that we need to talk about. It's not about having more therapy hours or a lack of capability of the client. There's actually a fundamental difference in how these children's brains create and use patterns that affect everything. After working with hundreds of families as a board certified behavior analyst, I've seen the same pattern over and over. And when we miss this piece, both parents and children end up frustrated and feeling disconnected with one another. What I'm about to share will help you understand why some interactions feel impossible and, more importantly, how to bridge that gap so real connection can happen. Assessment blinds a spot that changes everything. Most autism evaluations tell us a lot. Cognitive scores, expressive and receptive language, behavior checklists, maybe even some sensory profiles. But there's one thing that rarely gets assessed, and it changes everything. It's the child's nervous system response to social unpredictability versus environmental unpredictability. This is not captured in a standardized assessment because you can't measure it in a 45-minute testing room. You have to watch the child across different contexts, across different days, across different levels of unpredictability. And this is where many families get stuck. A child might score beautifully on structured assessments, yet meltdown, shutdown, or withdraw in daily life. Not because they forgot the skill, but because their nervous system is working overtime trying to process social unpredictability. This is why progress often looks inconsistent. A great day, terrible day, back to great day, then suddenly nothing is working again. There is a pattern, but it's rooted in regulation, not necessarily skill. And here's the bigger issue most families are facing right now. While they're trying to understand this regulation gap, they're also on waiting list for months, sometimes years, just trying to get a second opinion or a clearer understanding of what's going on. Providers are overwhelmed and families are left without answers. This is exactly why so many children can perform beautifully in therapy sessions but can't use those same skills at home. The child isn't resisting, the environment changes, predictability disappears, and their nervous system goes into defense mode. This is the difference between teaching skills and creating sustainable change that actually follows the child across their real life. When a child can't predict what's coming next in a social situation, every moment becomes mentally expensive. It's like being asked to solve a puzzle every 10 seconds without warning. So naturally, the child gravitates towards what they can control, lining up toys, repeating the same show, scripting scenes, seeking highly patterned routines, seeking arguments. These aren't necessarily bad behaviors, they're regulation strategies. The child's most efficient way to create predictability in a world that feels unpredictable. Where things go wrong is where interventions focus on changing the behavior without addressing the nervous system underneath it. Families tell me all the time, we've tried everything, but nothing sticks. And usually that's because the intervention targeted the form of the behavior without understanding the function of the behavior. And this is where important clarification is needed. Yes, regulation matters, but we cannot ignore the function either. Does the behavior help them get access to something? Are they trying to get attention? Are they trying to escape something overwhelming? Or is the behavior serving a self-regulating automatic purpose? Both regulation and function matter, and most families never get a complete answer because they're bouncing between specialists, waiting months between appointments, and trying to piece together recommendations from people who aren't even talking to each other. Parents deserve a team, a real team, not a scattered list of providers with 3-month, 6-month, 9-month wait times. As a board certified behavior analyst who's reviewed over 200 treatment cases, I offer 15-minute panel reviews where I analyze your child's treatment plan and identify exactly what might be getting overlooked. There's a link in the description if you want to know more about how this works. The real breakthrough comes when we help autistic children develop what researchers call social predictability, not forcing more interaction, but making human interaction feel safe, reliable, and worth engaging. And here's the shift. When we recognize that a child is seeking predictability, not avoiding connection, everything changes. We stop fighting their behaviors and start using those behaviors as bridges. The goal is not to change who they are as a person. It's to build neural pathways that link connection with safety, co-regulation, and predictability. And here's the part that almost no one talks about. Families rarely get the support needed to implement this. They're put on endless waiting lists for diagnosticians, for occupational therapy, for behavior therapy, for dietitians, for psychiatrists, for school-based services, and the burden falls on the parent to coordinate all of this. That's why my work focuses on a round table model, a panel of providers who collaborate on your child's care together, not in isolation, not months apart, together. This is not excluding families stuck trying to translate one provider's profession to another. A coordinated team is the missing piece families and providers have been needing for years. Because when everyone understands both the function of the behavior and the regulation underneath it, the path forward becomes clear and sustainable. If you're a parent who finally understands why your child's progress feels so inconsistent and you're wondering what might be missing from your current treatment plan, I want to help you get clarity. As a board certified analyst who's reviewed over 200 treatment cases, I offer expert panel reviews where I analyze your child's current situation and identify exactly what might be getting overlooked. It's a 15-minute deep dive that gives you clear answers about what to focus on next. You can learn more about how this works by clicking the link in my description below.